Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 beginner tricks. Hey guys, today I'm going to run over 5 beginner tricks that you can learn before the ollie, and possibly even in one day if you got some of the fundamentals down, like riding your board and just being able to be comfortable on your board in general, which is probably what you really should have beforehand before trying any tricks. Unlike other skate videos that for beginner tricks and stuff, I myself are still a beginner. I only been skating 7 months. Some of these other videos that you see, people have been skating 5, 10, 15 years. So they don't, of course it's going to be easy to them. So I think in this video, you'll be able to learn 5 easy tricks, because I learned them pretty quickly myself, and I've learned them recently or at the start of my skateboarding. As I mentioned, the first thing you really should know how to do is roll around, be comfortable on your board, be able to do your fakie kick turns, do your tic-tacking, be able to roll up ramps or banks if you have access to them. If not, just try and find a bank. I didn't film it here, but you can be able to do like acid drops off gutters, off ledges and stuff like that. It's a handy thing to know as well. These things can really help you in the long term, or more so the short term, trying to learn how they learn tricks in the first 1 to 2 months, 3 months of your skateboarding journey. Just having this fundamental will benefit you a lot. Number 1 on the list is the Nosestall, bleed, slappy nose something or other, whatever you want to call it. Borderline a trick, borderline not a trick, but it'll teach you to shift your weight. So basically what you want to be doing is you just roll up to the gutter, lift your nose up a little bit, take the pressure off the nose, and then once you're up there, you'll just slap into it, put all your pressure onto your front foot. And so there's 2 ways to get off this. The first way I don't know how to do personally is you do a pressure ollie off. It's quite hard for a beginner like myself, or any beginner in general, I reckon. You're going to have to learn to do that switch. So if you can't ollie regularly, you're going to really struggle to do a switch ollie. So the other way you can do it is that you just plonk off. But if trying to avoid straight plonking, you can shimmy it forward a little bit. So just you shimmy it forward a little bit, so you don't plonk straight down. We're going to move on to trick number 2. You can do it 2 different ways. You can do it stationary and moving. To learn it straight off, you probably do it best off doing it stationary. It's just it's hard to explain what a caveman really is. You just pop it up, grab it with your front hand and jump back on it pretty much. It's pretty simple. You can learn this one very quickly. So what you want to do is you set up like an ollie and pop it like an ollie, so you snap your tail down and the front of the board will come up. So instead of trying to drag your foot off, your front foot doesn't do much in this. It's just get it out of the way and grab that nose. Make sure you keep your shoulders over the board. Grab it and guide it on. You guide it back on with your front foot. So you can practice that by just standing still, having the board in your right hand or your front hand, and gliding it back on and stomping back on. You can do this at any speed. You can do it slower to work into it, and then just build your speed up to where you feel comfortable. And once you feel comfortable, you can take this off things and up things as well. So it is a good trick to learn. It's a little bit of a fun trick, especially when you're you're tired. You're I'm tired, not landing anything. Just pop a caveman up something or down something. You can do different variations of it too. You can do a caveman pop shove it or front shove it. You can do a kickflip with it. You can do 360 flips. You can take it to any imagination you want. Trick number 3, or is that 6? 3, we're gonna be doing the fakie front shove. So a lot of people will be telling you, the easiest one you'll be doing is a nollie shove, because it's in front of you, you'll spin the board in front of you. But as a beginner, you don't have that, or I don't feel that I have that front foot control, mind muscle to be able to use that for the nollie shove. I still can't do that. As you're starting to begin to skateboard, everything you do is with your back foot. So it's back foot, back foot, back foot. So it's easy to use your back foot for tricks and popping, where your front foot generally doesn't do too much. So this one, it's a lot easier when you're rolling, is you just set up with your back foot in the back pocket. Make sure you're rolling fakie, so that's where the coming into being comfortable on your board comes into it. Have your back foot in the back pocket. Front foot doesn't really matter too much. You can put that anywhere. Just have it where you feel comfortable. I like to have it like just under the bolts, all the way on the board. And then because you got that pocket, you just pop down and forward a little bit, and then the board will spin, jump back a little bit and jump on it and roll away. This one you can't really practice too much. You can practice it stationary, where you just like set up in the position and jump forward, just so you get the idea of the scoop. Press down, press back towards your nose, and then it'll come around and jump on it and you'll roll away. It's a lot easier in my opinion than any other shove it variation. For trick number four, we're going to stay on the shove it variations and just do the shove it. So this one you're rolling regular. It's another easy one. You get to watch the board this way. A lot of people say this is not an easy trick because it doesn't stay under them. That's generally because they're doing it wrong. For any shove it, generally you don't want to be pulling your foot straight back. It's always going to be back with an angle of where you want to keep the board under you. So with this one, you're going to be pushing it back and towards the front of your nose. So you're pushing the board out in front of you so it stays one under you and in front of you. This is another trick where your front foot does not much. It will just like sit there, put it in a comfortable position. This is all back foot. Get your back foot in that scooping position. You can use your toes, you can use your whole foot, use whatever is comfortable. Sometimes I just like using my toes, and then you just squishy it around. Squishy? Just scoop it around, and then watch it with your eyes. Keep your front foot not too high, and then just stomp it back down. This is something you can practice stationary. If you can do it once stationary, just keep trying to do it over and over, and then take it to rolling, and then you should be able to pick this one up pretty quick. Once you do it stationary, it will give you that confidence of jumping on it, and then it's just a matter of just rolling with it. Moving on to the last one, number 5, where I'm going to be doing probably the hardest one to pick up out of all of them, I reckon, and that's the No Comply 180. So your back foot will sit in the back pocket, ready to pop and scoop, where your front foot will be up at the front bolts. Roll along, roll at your own pace. You can't really practice this stationary because you'll whack it into your leg. So just do it at a little bit of pace. Roll along, slide that front foot straight off, and then at the same time pop with your back foot and scoop around. You want to make sure your shoulders are already like open, because if you don't want to be skating along like that. Make sure you bring your shoulders open about this point, pop your tail, bring your leg around, and then the whole board and your body will rotate around. Once you're around, step back on and roll away fakie. That's it for the main tricks. There's just a couple other little, I suppose, supplementary tricks / building blocks. I like to call them building blocks, that you probably, before you want to learn these tricks, you can do these just to build your confidence. I did all these tricks. The first one here, the flip on, I did this before I skated every session. Every session I did this trick. Make sure you do it over the bolts, because if you don't do it over the bolts, you'll fall on your ass, and nobody wants that. Complement that first one, the flip on, is the hippie jump. This is also a good one. You can take it into a body varial. I didn't film any body varial variations of it, but you can do that to roll into switch or fakie. But it's another one that just builds confidence of feeling like what it feels like to jump onto your board while moving. Make sure you do this over the bolts again, because if you don't do it on the bolts, once you bend down and jump up, the board's going to fling the direction that you're not weighted on. So you don't want that, because again, you'll fall on your ass. And the last little building block is something that one of the first tricks I learned, or I suppose it's a trick, is like the vanilla milkshake. It's just a good one to get the feeling of the board doing something, and then you watching it and jumping onto it. And that's it for this video. That is 5 easy tricks you can learn in one day, or definitely before the ollie. I think you can learn these in one day. You just have to have those, or be confident on your board and have those sort of fundamentals down as skateboarding. Thanks for watching, appreciate it. Thanks for 200 followers. We hit there the other day. Really appreciate the support. Hit that like button, subscribe for more content. I'm trying to make videos every week now, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.